Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're going to take a look at the Pantech Burst on AT&T, a $50 LTE Android smartphone with actually really pretty good specs and features for the price. The Pantech Burst is going to be available on January 22nd for $49.99 with a 2-year contract, and that's really awfully darn cheap for a phone that has true LTE 4G plus HSPA plus 4G for those of you who are not yet in an LTE market served by AT&T. It has a 4-inch Super AMOLED display that has really good colors, nice saturation, movies look great, not super duper bright, but it's adequate. I just find that I have to turn up towards the high end to really suit my tastes. You've got a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon CPU with Adreno 220 graphics. This is the same thing you're going to get on the more expensive HTC Vivid and Samsung Galaxy S2 Skyrocket LTE phones on AT&T. It has 16 gigs of storage. It's apportioned so that about 12.3 gigs are available to store data on and 770 megs for applications, which is okay. I'd like to see a little bit more for app installation for those of you who are real app monsters, but it's decent enough. It has a 5 megapixel camera on the rear and a front video chat camera and the usual Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a GPS. From the front, it looks like your average Android phone. A little bit of curvy on the edges here. Big glass dominates the front. 4 capacitive touch buttons at the bottom. And if we take a look on the side, you can see it's not a skinny phone. But again, you're paying $50 for this, so you're not going to get the most beautiful engineering in the world. I don't think it's a totally gorgeous phone either, but it's not hideous looking. A little kind of chromy accents going on here. Here's your micro USB port on the side, right in the middle. Kind of an unusual place for it. We've got matte plastic here. This is not really particularly soft touch, though it might look it to you in the video. You know, slippery enough. On the back here we have the faux brushed metal looking panel, genuine plastic. Here's your 5 megapixel camera with LED flash, your speaker and microphone hole there. And then this is the grab point down here where you open it up to get to the battery. Your micro SIM card slot. Guess what, folks? Just like the iPhone 4S, you get a micro SIM there. This is the micro SD card. You don't get a micro SD card actually in the box. It's just a slot for it because I figure you have enough internal storage to work with. And here's the 1680 milliamp lithium ion battery. Cover's pretty easy to take on and off. On this side here we have the volume rocker. And up top there's your headphone jack, and then there's your power button. And down here just a microphone hole. Phone runs Android OS 2.3.5 Gingerbread and it has a little customized UI on top developed by Pantech. Not so much my favorite. I'm going to show you what the lock-unlock screen looks like. Slightly a copy of HTC's Ring Unlock thing. And then you can see you can either just choose the unlock option there or go straight to voicemail, the web browser, calling quickly, music, or your email. It's alright. Doesn't do much for me. You've got your little launcher here for your voicemail, your calls, browser, and there's your app tray. And this is pretty much left to normal. It's just a side-to-side swipe. You see all your applications here. While we're looking at applications, see we've got a couple of things loaded here. The usual AT&T code scanner. We've also got Yellow Pages Mobile. That is removable, by the way. There's AT&T Live TV on here. That is removable as well. AT&T Navigator's on board. That is not removable. So not everything on here is removable. They've added on. We have a game called Turkey over here that came pre-installed. That is removable. And then you've got your standard Android full suite of applications. A couple of added things by Pantech, like there's a voice memo application. They have a MMS sharing application there. Quick Light's preloaded, so you can use the front video chat camera with Quick Light you want, or you can use Google Talk video chat, Skype, that sort of thing as well. And on that, pretty much normal stuff. Got the Google Movies app here as well. Standard stuff. It's very responsive. That Qualcomm Snapdragon benchmarks very well. We actually got 3300 on Quadrant, very respectable. And again, you're getting the same CPU that you do on higher end phones. It's really pretty impressive what you get here for your $50, I have to say. Call quality also very nice, loud and clear on the phone. And you've got your standard Android dialer, a little bit of look and feel customization from Pantech. That suits me pretty well. Nice, attractive looking, a little bit more colorful than the usual. The back speaker, not so super loud for voice calls. The quality is good. It's fairly full, and in fact we'll play you a movie so you can hear what that sounds like now. Now we've got 2 movie trailers loaded. Both are 1080p. We're actually going to take a look at a Blu-ray rip. That means very high quality 1080p video with 5.1 audio. Obviously the phone can't output 5.1 audio. but it can translate that down to mono for you. Now we're on maximum volume. Really nice screen in terms of colors and contrast. Particularly awesome for a $50 phone. But the sound volume, not so much. By the way, it's doing an excellent job of handling a very challenging clip here. And we'll try another clip that has slightly louder, just standard stereo audio. So you can hear that also 1080p.
You can have a human counterpart.
Now it's a bit louder.
He's a strong will.
It works.
And what about Caesar? Where does he fit in?
The quality of the speaker is very good, nice and full. No hiss, no tinniness.
Spend any time with other chips.
Phone's also a capable gamer thanks to a dual-core Snapdragon CPU, and Linpack, by the way, it scored 87 on the multi-thread test, and that's a very good score. SunSpider JavaScript test, that tests the JavaScript rendering performance, was 2828, which is pretty good. It's not super duper good. I would say there's probably not a lot of optimization done by Pantech here to try to speed up JavaScript rendering. The browser itself performs nicely enough. And we've got the swipe keyboard on board along with the standard Android keyboard available to you. This is an 800 by 480 pixel display, which now constitutes kind of a medium-end phone now that we've seen 720p displays becoming more common on the higher-end phones. But then again, the Samsung Skyrocket's only 800 by 480. Of course, the Samsung Skyrocket HD will be a 720p display, but I'm not complaining about 800 by 480, especially in a phone price like this. It's plenty of pixels to work with. Very responsive pinch zooming. You can also double tap to zoom in and out. Works pretty well. We'll check out a YouTube video. I'll pop that out to full screen 40p. And now we've popped out to full screen 480p. Really good. And we're doing this over AT&T's 4G LTE network. Very good. Once again, very impressed. Reception on the phone is pretty good. We noticed that it's about 5 dB lower in terms of actual measured signal reception versus the Skyrocket and the Vivid. But don't be fooled by the bars up here. All the other AT&T LTE phones so far use different bars to show you HSPA plus reception versus LTE. This one always shows you the HSPA plus reception. We actually don't have all those bars right now in terms of signal strength. We should be seeing about 2 to 3 bars right now. But nonetheless, it does very well in speed tests, even with that slightly lower signal, and voice quality is very good. I'll show you our speed tests here. Now these 25 megabits down and 13 megabits up, we're indoors with about 2 bars at negative 93 dB signal or so to negative 97. And then we stepped outside and we got up to crazy numbers like 43 and 47 megabit down and 16 and 17 megabit up. And then we dipped down a little bit to 19 again indoors. So in terms of data throughput, this is actually the fastest AT&T LTE phone we've tested yet. Now on the phone, whether you're going to get 19 or 25, you're really not going to be able to tell the difference, to be honest. But when you're using this with the mobile hotspot feature for tethering over Wi-Fi, it's going to make a really nice fast modem, this phone. 5 megapixel camera on this phone, well that might not sound like much, but it actually has very good color and very good contrast. This is the sample shot that we've taken, and you can see really nice colors, really nice contrast. Now, it won't be quite as sharp and full of detail as your 8 megapixel cameras and some higher end phones, but a little sharpening in Photoshop can take care of that and add some detail. But overall, pretty good exposure, light balance, colors, all that kind of thing. Again, really phenomenal for a $50 phone. Now we're trying out Defender by Droidhen. Plays just fine. volume is actually pretty good here. In terms of custom widgets, Pantech doesn't do too much there. They've got this, which is kind of handy. It's your clock plus weather widget, and it shows you your upcoming appointments. However, this is a little strange. If you tap on the appointment, you don't get more information. It just takes you to today. Still, nice to know what's coming up on your calendar. So that's the Pantech Burst, kind of a funny name there, but really a great phone for $50 with contract on AT&T. Again, it has Android OS 2.3 Gingerbread LTE 4G plus HSPA plus 4G, 4-inch Super AMOLED display running at 800 by 40 resolution, and a 1.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon dual-core CPU with Adreno 220 graphics. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website for the full review, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.